Hi, I'm Martin of StrataGames, and today we are playing some Paupergeddon top 8 deck lists. Paupergeddon just happened this past week, and it was absolutely fantastic to watch. If you did not catch any of it, you should definitely make sure to check some of that out. I also put up a tournament report for the entire tournament covering just about everything that you could want to know about the tournament, including the meta, what decks did well, what decks did poorly, etc. So make sure to check that out. But now we're playing the second place deck list by Tartarini. This is Grixis Affinity, and it's not necessarily too dissimilar to any other Grixis Affinity list that you will have seen before, but obviously, getting second place means that it is still a pretty good spot, or rather, it has gotten bumped up a little bit recently because of some new cards. For example, Utrom Monitor has been a new one that is really, really good. Like a 3/3 flyer for just a single blue mana is extremely strong. It's not hard to get this out on turn 3, if not even turn 2, with like a Blood Fountain in the right start. Unfortunately, this card is still relatively expensive. Not relatively, it's still very expensive. It's like $8 in paper and 30 ticks online. It is coming down a little bit. There was an announcement from the PFP that we're going to increase the number of drops of Utrom Monitors in treasure chests in MTGO going forward, and it's already brought the price down about 8 ticks, so hopefully that will continue, and this could actually be a reasonable price going forward. But for now, we're playing just 2 of them in this list, and Sewer Valence Cam is another card that a lot of people are playing in their Grixis Affinity lists. Not seen in this list, which I thought was pretty interesting, so definitely not a mandatory card to include for you to do well. But 2 of these, of course, we're playing 4 Refurbished Familiars, 4 Mirror Enforcers. These cards are all absolutely busted, which is why we're playing them. Thoughtcasts to draw some cards. We have 3 Fanatical Offering, 3 Reckoner's Bargain. A split is definitely interesting. A lot of times these decks are running more of these, maybe even 4 Reckoner's Bargain, 2 Fanatical Offering, or I've seen 4 and 4 if you want 12 card draw spells. But cutting down a little bit so that we have more utility at our 1-drop slot. We're also playing one of Makeshift Munitions. This is a staple in this deck, and it's always fantastic. 4 Ichor Wellspring. Then we have 2 Blood Fountain, 2 Toxin Analysis to go with our 3 Croak Clan Shamans, 4 Galvanic Blasts, 2 Nihil Spellbombs, and we're actually playing 2 Chromatic Stars. This is a card that is no stranger to Affinity for sure, but definitely has, I don't even know if I want to say fallen out of favor with the deck, as the deck has gotten too crowded with so many new cards in the last few years. I mean, just right here, Refurb is, within the last 2-ish years, Refurb, Fanatical Offering, Toxin Analysis are all new-ish. And so yeah, anyway, we're playing a couple Chromatic Stars though. It should smooth our mana and just another way to get our affinity count high early on. Then we have 4 Drawsforge Bridge, 4 Mist Vault, 2 Silver Bluff Bridge, some Great Furnace, Seed of the Synod, and Vault of Whispers, and we're playing a 1 of Swamp so that we can get the initiative and actually have a basic to fetch up, or we can, of course, if our opponent wildfires us, we also have a basic to fetch. Then in our sideboard, we have Negate, Envelop, 4 Blue Blast, 4 Red Blast, a 1 of Gorilla Shaman for the Mirror, Nihil Spellbomb, 2 Extracted Confession, and Arms of Hadar. Obviously, since this is just the list that they were running, I haven't changed anything. But of course, some of these sideboard considerations could have been specifically for the Paupergeddon meta, so it's possible that we won't need some of these in our league, but we're just going to run it as is. So without further ado, let's take it for a league and see how we do. Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron. Round 1 here, we obviously can't keep a no-lander, but this 2-lander is pretty reasonable. We don't currently have blue for the Utrom, but it is our only creature, so I don't think I want to get rid of it. So I think it's Wellspring or Offering. I think we'll get rid of the... tough choice. I mean, they both kind of draw us 2, although the Wellspring is reliant on another Offering effect later, but it's an extra artifact that sits around and contributes to Affinity. I think we'll keep the extra Wellspring. Usually I'd be inclined to do the Offering, but we're also on the draw. If they're a blue deck that wants to counterspell our first Wellspring, having a second copy would be nice. Looks like we're against Jund, so that's obviously not consideration anymore. They have Spellbomb, nothing else. And obviously if we knew we were drawing a third Wellspring, maybe not as good. Although the Krark obviously makes it so that more Wellsprings is better. Another Spellbomb, so our Blood Fountain's not going to be great. And they have nothing else going on. That's crazy. I think we just go for a Fanatical Offering. We really want to hit our land drop. We're probably going to have to discard even if we do hit it. No, we actually get a spell bomb, so that's great. We don't have to discard then. No blue mana, but at least we hit our land drop. They're going to Eviscerate us inside a spell bomb. I feel like they should have not played the other spell bomb because then they just wasted a card draw on the first spell bomb by playing it. But I guess that's fine for us. They have a Lembas. It's possible they have Crystals and they just don't have the red and green they need, but otherwise they're just no creatures right now. Lembas right at the bottom. Thoughtcast. Let's go for a Wellspring. I guess we're just going to do a 1-mana Enforcer. No blue is a little awkward. I could have gone for another draw on the Wellspring to try to hit our land drop. I think it was probably better to just... well, we didn't have the Wellspring, so I would have had to bargain like a map, and I didn't want to do that. But we're still in a fine spot, but obviously not hitting our lands is a bit unfortunate. Bit of a bottleneck with blue as well, even if we do find a seat here. Offering. I mean, we have tons of value, which is great against Jund. Being able to go toe-to-toe with them on value is good. I could go for an offering on a Wellspring, but I think there's no reason to chance that we don't hit a land and we discard a bunch of cards, waste our value, when I can just play a Wellspring. If we don't get our land, I can just like Krark. So we do hit our land. Now I get to pass here with the offering up. They're going to offering their Wellspring. So we have a very similar thing going on, but we have a Mirror Enforcer right now, which is puts us a little ahead. Chris is coming out, and a Blood Fountain. Let's go ahead and draw 3. We do get a land, but still no blue. I have double Toxin, so I could attack, and if they block with the Chrysalis, I can just Toxin. I think that's probably fine. If they just block with a Spawn, that's obviously also fine. I'm going to use that mana to Blood Token away a bridge. We'll play our Blood Fountain, Furnace, and I guess since we're going to discard, otherwise I might as well get a Krark out. They also have a Krark. It's funny if they try, like theoretically they could sack the Spawn, sack 4 artifacts, and kill our stuff without killing their Chrysalis. But if they do that, I actually can just Toxin their Krark. They're going to map onto it twice, trying to get a counter, both times hitting a land. They just wanted a counter so they could wipe our Krark. But again, if they did do that, I think I will just Toxin them, because we also get to Reckoner's Bargain, our Enforcer, gain a bunch of life. But if they don't want to do any of that, still going to just draw 3 at the end step here. Chromatic Star, there's some blue, finally, as there is also at the bridge. I don't need a Thoughtcast right now, so I guess I just want to get a Monitor out. We'll wait to cast or play the bridge, because if I get like a Seed of the Synod, I'd like to play that first. Ooh, or another star. Here's a Monitor, another star, crack for another blue, play a Monitor. Now we get a Refurb. If I play Refurb, we're tapped out, which means if they do go for a Krark, I won't be able to Toxin it. Is that bad? Not really. If they go for Krark for 4, I can also just sack 1 to my Krark, kill their Chris. Even if they play another Chrysalis, I have Toxin and Krark in hand. I think it's probably fine. Let's just go for a Refurb. Try to just get him in the air pretty quick here. And we'll just pass. I obviously could have attacked with the Mirror Enforcer earlier, but I didn't actually want to be tied to having to cast the Toxin Analysis this turn. Cast down on a Monitor. That's fine. I could sack it to the Krark, but I'm not too worried about that, I don't think. Sack their Spawn, activate Krark for just 1. Well, I'm not going to sack 4 artifacts in response, so that's fine. They floated a black and a green, black and a colorless as if they wanted to like sack the Krark, but I guess they're just going for another Chris here. I mean, we can just Krark Toxin to wipe the board. If they try to kill it, I can Toxin again, and we get to attack for 5. I think that's probably the play. Toxin here. They're going to cast it down. Toxin again. If they have another cast down, can't do much about that, which they do. Yeah, maybe I should have waited on this to do it at another time in their upkeep or something, but I wanted to attack for 5 here. I have a Galvanic, so I could just sacrifice 5 artifacts to still get these and then Galvanic the Chris. That's probably fine. 2 maps. Enforcer, Blood Token, a land. Brutal. They have 2 more Spawn. Yeah, I know. I'm going to sack for 5, and then I'm going to Galvanic Blast to finish off the Chrysalis, so that I don't have to sack 2 more artifacts. I think this is still going to be a fine exchange for us. Sack the Spawn. I could sack 2 more artifacts if I want to keep the Galvanic, but I think it's fine. Clear the stack. Play an Enforcer before we lose too many artifacts. Thoughtcast. I guess they have mana floating. Okay. I was like, I was lagging. This bridge was not untapping. Let's Thoughtcast again. I'm going to try to go to combat first, so they have to use their mana, because they could have like a pulse here that they want to use. Attack. Galvanic Blast the Chrysalis. Now we get in for 5. We still have Spell Bomb, so they can't. Blood Fountain, and they're down to 3 cards. We have Munitions next turn. Feeling pretty good. They sack their Blood Fountain to the offering. since it's not doing them any good. Krark, Cleansing Wildfire, and a Refurb. But Munitions just cleans up both of these. And then I get to attack for a bunch. Thoughtcast isn't bad either. Pick off Krark. Alright, they concede. We got there. So, let's see. Negate's probably fine. They have a lot of non-creature spells. I mean, it countering like a Wellspring or something's not amazing, but it's still okay. Extract is decent. Another Spellbomb's fine. Gorilla Shaman. They play like 2 Vaults of Whispers. You can get rid of a Blood Fountain. Spellbomb. Could be okay. I'm not sure the negate's actually worth it. Toxin Krark is probably still worthwhile, although I'm not sure we need this many. Like, because wiping a Chrysalis or 2 with all the spawn is still nice. Munitions is good as a win con. Cut a Fountain, because they're going to bring in a lot of spell bombs of their own. Like, Gorilla Shaman's not obviously as good as if they were Affinity, but I feel like just playing it late, if we have like 6 or 7 mana, being able to get rid of like a Blood Fountain and Spellbomb right away could be good. Not exactly sure what else to cut though. Don't really want to cut any card draw. I mean, I guess Galvanic Blast just isn't amazing here. I don't know if it's sacrilegious to cut Galvanics, but when we're bringing in 2 Extract Confession, and these don't kill Chris, I think that is probably fine. No Lander again. Alright, we'll keep this one. Get rid of a bridge probably. Play a bridge, hope it doesn't get oofed, although I guess it's probably not going to happen this turn. Limbus. No bridges for them so far. Play our Wellspring. Definitely just a good start. We don't really need creatures this early. Obviously, I wouldn't mind them in a turn or 2, but just having a lot of card advantage and stuff is good. They also have a Gorilla Shaman though, so that's a little annoying. Should have kept all of our bridges, I guess. I will play this Chromatic Star. If they want to pay 3 mana to draw us a card from the star, I have no problem with that. If they like cast us into the fire, we're gonna be in some trouble for sure. Or oof, I suppose is the other thing. They do blow up the star. That's crazy to me. I mean, obviously if they have nothing else to play and it hinders our affinity count, I understand, but it is crazy. I could just Galvanic Blast and Refurb. It's not a terrible idea, but I'm not hitting my land drops. I could Fanatical Offering, but if I hit an untapped land that's not red, I'm just throwing it away. I don't have to play it, but I think we're just going to go for the safer route. Refurb and kill Shaman. They don't have a bridge. They missed their land drop, so they're clearly not in a great spot. So I think just making sure our game goes relatively smooth is probably a good idea. Although now they have the oof, so maybe not drawing was actually incorrect for that reason. Shaman. Thoughtcast, which I can't play. I was thinking about trading one of these, but now I just want... Even if I get a tap land, I could Thoughtcast, so I probably just want to keep this around. Unfortunately, I don't have black mana, so I can't even Toxin just to get our affinity count up. I swing for 3. Have a Limbus. Find a Vault. Well, we're definitely going to lose if we don't get another land. Offering the Limbus here. Wellspring. Guess we should have brought in a couple Hydroblasts. Blue Blasts for the Gorilla Shaman. Refurb. I guess a bargain here. Like, we're really far off from using Makeshift Munition, but eventually it could be pretty good, so I don't know. Still not drawing anything that we need. And they have another oof. We're just going to skip it up. They're going to take our land. We're going to die. Well, do we want to do Blue Blasts to stop that from happening? I mean, they didn't even need Chrysalis or anything, so maybe that makes it feel like Toxin and Extract is just worse. We were able to deal with the Chrysalis just fine before, so maybe I don't care about those. And I bring in some of these. Also, just now that we know there's a Gorilla Shaman, we should favor lands that don't get blown up. This is an interesting one. Our one of land that doesn't get destroyed at all, but I could play a Blood Fountain, then the next turn I could play a Star. The following turn I could play a Refurb. I don't think that's good enough. Alright, this one's good. Well, this one's okay. It's just a lot of lands, so if we get land destroyed, it won't be as big of a deal. Obviously, we're missing some card draw, but we will keep this for now, I think. Get rid of the munitions. They mulligan to 5. Helps a little bit. Play bridge and pass. Vault. Might as well just play another bridge here. Next turn I can play Monitor. They have a Wildfire. If we get like a Blood Fountain or something, then I could play both of these guys. That didn't happen. 5. Next turn I can play Mirror Enforcer and hold up Reckoner's Bargain, assuming we don't get destroyed or interacted with at all. There's a Wellspring, bridge, and a Refurb. I mean, I kind of want the Vault, so I can play Enforcer and hold up Bargain, so I guess I'm going to get rid of Swamp, even though this means I'm more susceptible to a future, future Gorilla Shaman. Refurb is nice because it fits perfectly into our curve without affecting our game plan, and it's just another attacker. They discard munitions, so if they try to kill something here, we get to draw 2, gain a bunch, although if they try to blow up one of our lands, I mean, we're already beyond, like, if they start going after our lands and that's all they have, it's not that big of a deal, because we just have a ton of stuff on board here. I mean, we will sack the seat, and they have a troublemaker to get like a enforcer or monitor gone. That is annoying. Oh, they go for the bridge. Okay. I mean, hopefully we can just kill them with what we have on board and we don't... I mean, these are some pretty good draws. Like, they can attack our mana base, but if we just have 5 creatures killing them, they don't even block. Refurb, refurb. I don't think there's a reason to play the vault out, because they could just blow them both up, whereas now they can only blow one up, and then if I get like a 2-drop, I can at least play it, or maybe I can kill the Gorilla Shaman first. Chris is good. They have 2 flying blockers. I can only get in for 4. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what they needed, just to stall. If I got like a Galvanic Blast, we can attack in and we get to kill the Chrysalis at least. It's incredible how much hate they have against Affinity. Yeah, I mean, Affinity did just get second in the Paupergeddon, which is why we're playing it, so it's definitely been a more prevalent deck recently, but they are seeing a lot of their hate for sure. I mean, we put back in 1 Galvanic, so we're up to 3 Galvanics in the deck, because we can put them to 4 here. If they don't gain life, we can just win. Attack with everything, they block, spawn on Enforcer, eat the monitor, trade here. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we just go for it. And then I could play Vault now and hold up Fanatical Offering, but then they can sack the spawn and eat our Vault, and I have to sack it right then. Whereas this way, they're going to sack it, not have anything to do with the mana, and then I get to play the Vault, and then on their turn, maybe they have to waste 1 mana. With the Vault, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's nothing I could draw that's going to have enough. That would be free, because I'm not going to have 7 artifacts anymore. So it doesn't really matter how I do this. All right, they go to 4, and we'll pass. Play a bridge, play a Wellspring. They're going to blow up the Vault, which I will sacrifice. If we get a Galvanic Blast, we can just win. They blow up the map, understandably. No Galvanic. If I attack, they block, jump with the oof. They go to 2. Don't think that's worthwhile. We're just going to play the star. They can and probably will blow it up, but that at least draws us a card. I mean, we're really close. If they get another oof, exile our last land, and we never draw another one, we're going to be in a tough spot for sure. I think we're just going to get rid of the Spell Bomb. It's technically something we can play right now, but it doesn't really do anything until I have a 2nd mana to draw a card, and then I might as well just have a bargain. They destroy the star. We get a bridge. We get a monitor, so can't play that because I lost the star. Now I can't attack because I wouldn't get in for anything. Let's see. Another bargain. I think we just pass. If they do find a way to blow up a land, I'm going to want to sacrifice it. If they attack with the Chrysalis, well, maybe I would jump, but that actually doesn't sound like a great idea. I'd probably just take it. 3 more lands and they'll start killing familiars with Gorilla Shaman. No, Gorilla Shaman is only non-creatures. So they are not able to destroy any of our creatures with it at all. They can blow up their own Wellspring as they just did to draw a card, which is a cool tech. And they insight their own land and pass. I mean, I don't want to waste my mana as I have very little of it. I don't love sacrificing a creature here. I mean, the Mirror Enforcer gets chump blocked anyway for 1,000,000 turns, so I think that's the one I sacrifice. And if I can find a Galvanic Blast when they don't have mana up, that could be like a Pulse Marasa, I could just kill them with it. Bridge is good. I could attack and they block, and then I get to Toxin their Chris, but we're left with no creatures, and they also get to blow up our clue, so that doesn't feel very good. So I think we're still passing. They're going to offering their oof. They have 6, 7 mana. They have like a Hydra. Then you also just lose if they have Pulse. No. I mean, Pulse would put them to 10, but I have 3 Galvanic Blasts I could draw. I have 4 damage in the air if I'm able to, get them with that. I don't think we just lose to a Pulse. But my point was, like, if we get a Galvanic, I would probably not cast Pulse while they had the mana up. Or I would probably not cast the Galvanic while they had Pulse mana up. Okay. All in on the Gorilla Shaman. They have no mana, so I probably just block and Toxin this. Then we don't have to worry about a Gorilla Shaman anymore. They do have a lot of blockers, but I'm looking for a Galvanic anyway. The problem with this is I am wasting a mana from my Reckoner's Bargain, but I think that's fine. I know they still trample, but I was thinking if you traded both familiars for their familiar and Chris, then they pulse on Chris, that would be devastating. Yes, you're right. If we made that play, another reason not to have attacked with both of the refurbs is we would be, very reliant on the Galvanic and them having no life gain, which could be tough. All right, we get a Vault. I could play Utra Monitor, but it doesn't get through right now, so I think my goal is just to Thoughtcast, try to find that Galvanic. And we do. They're tapped out, so I'm pretty sure we just win. All right, close one, but we got there against Jund. All right, round 2 here. This hand looks pretty good. We can get turn 2 Spellbomb Refurb into, that'd be 4 or 5, a Mirror Enforcer, and now a Monitor into Enforcer. So we can have a pretty fast start here. Looks like we are against Gardens, some variety, could be Food Pest or something. Sack their plant, discard a Crypt Rats. So Crypt Rats, there was a list of Paupergeddon that was running Crypt Rats and Pestilence, but usually Crypt Rats means it's not going to be Pestilence. Haunted Mire and Defile. Yeah, a little annoying. Yeah, quite annoying actually, because that means we don't get to Enforcer here, because this is 5 artifacts with 1 mana. I could Toxin, but that doesn't change the math, unfortunately, so... The fact that more players attend Paupergeddon than a GP should tell Wizards something. Yeah, I would agree. Snuff out, and then Thorn. Ugh, that's unfortunate. So I think I'm going to Toxin there, Thorn here, because if I don't, I can play 1 Mirror Enforcer if I don't get a land or anything. And if I Toxin here, I can play all 3. So Toxin's not even a very good card against them anyway, even with a Krark. But now I get to Enforcer for 2, Enforcer for 1, Enforcer. And this is a great way to try to take the Monarch. It's pretty hard for them to have a Crypt Rats for 4 here. I mean, obviously they could have Crypt Rats Toxin Analysis, but they don't usually run that. And they could just have 3 removal spells, but can't do much about that. Here's the first. I guess their goal is just removal and block. Map onto the plant. Lembas. I could Krark for 3 and get in for 8. That goes really poorly if they have, like, Snuff Out, Defile, but I think I need to take the Monarch pretty badly. And if I do, I think I'm in a really good spot, actually, although I do have to lose a bunch of lands. Not a bunch of lands, 1 land, because I'm going to sack Spellbomb, land, Clue here. But I think we got to go for it. So let's do this. I'm not going to pay for the Spellbomb, because I would just like to Reckoner's Bargain our Krark, I think. And look, if they have 2 Snuff Outs or a Snuff Out and a Defile, we lose the game probably. But if they don't and we're able to take the Monarch here, things are pretty good, which is exactly what happened. Because we have them dead with our creatures this turn. They have to have some way to Monarch again to be able to take it back. That seems tough, which is Cottage. We get our 4th Enforcer. They do get to Cottage back Thorn, and yeah, if they have a draw 2 or like a Wellspring, they could play it. Oh, just Crypt Rats. Oh, they do run Toxin. Okay, so they're gonna survive here and gain some life. That's pretty annoying. We have Monarch for 1 more turn. That was a pretty good draw, although we can't quite Mirror Enforcer because that's only 6 artifacts. Another day, another Jund, please. Let's go. Thorn of the Black Rose. I mean, they only have 1 card. We're not in a terrible spot, but obviously them getting the Crypt Rats Toxin was less than ideal. I could just Enforcer... Or not Enforcer. I could Wellspring, and if I get a land, it's like I can free Enforcer. But I think we want to just draw a bunch here, so let's go for a Fanatical. Draw 3. Alright, that's good. Thoughtcast. Well, a lot of lands. Not quite what I wanted. I still get to play Enforcer. Trying to figure out if I just want to do a bridge or something else. I think I just want to go Vault so that I can crack the Blood token. We've already gone through every single Enforcer, so there's no reason to do it now. This gives me 1 more draw to maybe find a something. Galvanic Blast for this or something like that. But Juka Bog is pretty annoying. I was not able to use this Blood Fountain because we lost our lands too early, so couldn't really do anything about it, unfortunately. But that's not what I wanted to see. Any thoughts on the BNR? Any cards you would like to see go or come back? Not a lot of thoughts. I'm pretty happy with the format right now. I don't think that anything needs to get banned. And there's nothing specific on the ban list that I think can come off of it, or that I'm excited to come off of it. I think Bonder's Ornament's probably one that's fine to get rid to take off of there, but that doesn't really improve any decks that I want to play, so it doesn't really matter to me. But no, I don't like, yeah, Red Madness is everywhere and is very strong. Maybe you could ban something from that, but generally I don't think it's that big of a problem. I mean, I think Elves might get there. Right now, I would not say anything needs to get banned from Elves, but it is a very strong deck, even though, there's Krarks everywhere and all this stuff, like it consistently does well. And then we're getting more and more sideboard cards for it to shore up its bad matches. So like the new Pachyderm gaining life and being a reach blocker and like all this stuff. I'm not saying it's too much yet, but it might get there. Anyway, what are we doing here? Obviously, I could Galvanic Blast the Thorn and attack. I think the chances they have a removal spell are very high. So I probably want to draw some cards first. I would love to find some more creatures. Bonder's Ornament feels like it's only really playable in Tron and maybe Gardens at this point. I don't even think at this point, like I think it's a card that is only good in Tron, because you need a deck where it really cares about the adding any mana of any color and then also the slow draw engine. But yeah, I mean, it was banned because it was too good in Tron, right? So maybe we could get there. I mean, I guess I have to just try for it. If they don't have the removal spell, I get the Monarch. Obviously, that seems unlikely. Then I get to at least bargain away the Enforcer. Don't really see another very good play. I mean, I could just, like, Fanatical Offering, maybe we draw into another Monitor or something. They sack this. Oh my gosh, it actually works. They even had a draw to, and they did not have a removal spell. Well, that's fantastic for us. And that's why sometimes you got to go for it. I felt like they probably would have had one by now, but if they didn't, it's really good. Avenging Hunter maybe can be banned. Yeah, I do think that's one of the cards that isn't really talked about in the conversation that much about being banned, but probably should be higher in the discussion. Because yes, I agree. It's pretty dang strong. Obviously, that would be a knock against Elves if Elves does become a little too prevalent. Avenging Hunter is obviously just a busted card. I will say the other decks that play Avenging Hunter are not generally like the strongest. Like Gruul Monsters is not doing amazingly right now, and Gardens is doing fine, but it's really Elves that's the tier 1 or 1.5 deck that is really strong with the Avenging Hunter. But I agree it is just like a power outlier for the format. They've tapped their Campfire. They have one Eviscerator's Insight in the graveyard, but a bunch of creatures and stuff. I kind of want to blow up their graveyard. Let's start with a Thoughtcast. Hey, finally catch your stream. I'm glad you're able to make it. Welcome. I'm really looking for some creatures. I mean, we have the Monarch right now, but if they get another initiative or another emblem or something, or take back the Monarch, it's going to be rough. I think I'm just going to Spellbomb them because I don't want them to have their Eviscerator's Insight. I don't want them to cycle everything back with Campfire. We have 9 cards here. I guess we're just playing these and then holding up Fanatical. I feel like Gardens maybe needs a little miracle treatment. We'll discard a bridge. It just feels a bit too slow at winning, but it still wins a decent amount. Yeah, they have another one of these. Yeah, it could definitely do with a faster win con. They have another Bog. I only had one Enforcer, so I was kind of waiting to use the Blood Fountain until we got something else. Theoretically, I could mill out here, but I gotta look for my creatures. I'm pretty sure I still have like 3 monitors, or no, I'm only playing 2 monitors, so this is the last one, but I'm pretty sure I have all 3 refurbs. Okay, we still have a lot, is my point. Okay, we are drawing a lot of cards though, kind of a bad way. Like too many. Monitor. Yeah, anyway. Gardens I think could definitely do with like a better card, but a better win con, but it doesn't have that right now. Not really sure what to do about it. I guess we Thoughtcast, because if we hit some refurbs we can play them. And I don't really care to leave up the Reckoner's Bargain because I just want to have, because I don't really need to draw more cards here. They're going to hardcast a Snuff Out on this. Yep. Krark. Sure. Do I leave up Toxin Analysis? And I'm probably not going to use it. Let's just play a Blood Fountain, I guess. Hunter's the best card Elf can play against KCS decks. Yes, I certainly agree, and that would definitely make it a little more susceptible once again to Krark, which might be the way to go for Elves to get a little worse in general. They get a Cast Down on top. I don't play a lot of Grixis Affinity anymore. I used to play it quite a bit more, but it feels like we don't have enough creatures for this. I mean, the Bajuka Box have not helped. That's pretty good, I will admit. Let's play Munitions. Campfire makes things a little awkward, but I could potentially kill them with Munitions faster than they can Campfire. Like, they're going to Eviscerator's Insight the Thorn in response. Interesting. I was going to probably shoot the Thorn with the Galvanic, but now I don't even have to do that. And they're going to Spinning Darkness the Krark. Sure. I could bargain it. I might as well bargain a Wellspring, so that's fine. This actually lets me bring these 2 back right now. Monitor, and if I play Krark, I tap out a Makeshift, which I don't really want to. It's only 1 difference anyway, though. But if they get a Crypt Rats, it's kind of annoying. I think we'll just pass here. They just cast it down. I had F6, so maybe I should have Munitions to that in response. But there's the Avenging Hunter. Campfire. Do we just kill Avenging Hunter? No, we're probably trying to save this to burn them out, actually. Yeah, I really should have thrown that Monitor. A couple years ago, they played 4 Trolls, 4 Avenging Hunters to win, but I guess the Deadly Dispute ban hindered the ramp aspect into those win cons, but they only play like 1 Avenging Hunter, if any. Yeah, that is kind of where they've been at. Sack a Wellspring, draw a card, Krark. Just gonna Toxin this. I mean, they can remove it in response if they want. I can always just kill the Hunter if I really need with Galvanic. I'm not sure I'm doing this right. I'm trying to draw to these refurbs that are never being drawn, but it's possible I'm not gonna not cast these. Like, it's possible I should just Munitions them. I think this is fine for now, but there's 1 refurb, discarding a Defile, so they gotta have more removal. Probably need to Galvanic Blast the Hunter if they go to give it counters. They scry 2. Okay, 2 to the bottom, Spell Bomb. Guess I'm gonna crack this for these in response, and then they're probably gonna that I'm tapped out of Munitions and they can blow up whatever, but can't do much about it. Insight the Spell Bomb. I mean, we also have 2 Galvanics left in the deck. Defile the Refurb. Campfire. Swing for 5. We get a Thoughtcast. More card draw. Sure. 9 cards is still plenty. I think our goal now is just to make sure we get as much value out of the Makeshift as we can. Discard a Swamp. And yeah, I do have 1 Refurb left, but they could also have a Crypt Rats. We just pass here. 3 Trolls usually and 4 Hunters were exclusively early builds. How's it going, Cortez? Flashback. Insight on a Spell Bomb. You draw a bunch here. We don't have a main deck Cast in the Fire, otherwise we could get rid of their Campfire and then they would probably just mill out here. I guess they could be playing 2, but whatever. They get a treasure token, Lembas. Yeah, I hear ya. They do have another Campfire. It's gonna make munitions a little difficult to do. We're just gonna take 5. If they just kill us with like a Crypt Rats, so be it. If they Crypt Rats wipe our board, then we're already in a pretty bad spot. Campfire, Campfire. Crypt Rats for 3. I don't think there's any way we can get out of this. Like, there's not going to be enough damage to deal them, even with the munitions here. Refurb, throw, Krark at them. Probably should pick off this Hunter, since they're dealing 3 to everything. Change to monitors over rods makes Affinity weaker versus Gardens. Yeah, that's probably true. Probably better overall, but I agree. If we have any hope, we might as well use up our mana as efficiently as possible here. Refurb, Krark, because let's see, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 permanents. 4 damage with the Galvanics, that's 20. But they're at virtual 29 right now and gaining 4 every turn. So, like, yeah, even if I got... I think we're just going to concede. Even if I got the 2 Galvanic Blasts right now, then they're just gaining too much every turn. So it was close-ish. Not super close, but there's a world where we could have gotten there for sure. Negate's fine. Gorilla Shaman's decent. Burn Plan was the most effective versus Gardens. Yeah, that makes sense. Krark does not seem very necessary. Envelop, that's not going to hit anything. Extract, I guess, is okay. I think it's probably just, like, Toxins are still okay versus as Affinity and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess we just do this. Yeah, Toxin redraws. Exactly. It's not amazing, but I think it's better than anything else we have access to. I mean, Gorilla Shaman. No, this hint doesn't do anything. 1 lander, not going to work either. Okay, not great. We also are... well, that sucks. We're down quite a bit on time just because I was playing a little slowly. Well, Thoughtcast, Duress Bug, yeah, that was decent at least. We get an Enforcer, next turn we get another Enforcer. This one will probably die or get exiled. Maybe our red source gets exiled. Yeah. Bog. Bargain's not bad. They're definitely going to kill one of these at some point. So drawing 2 and gaining 7 is not terrible. I mean, gaining 7 is mostly irrelevant because obviously they, that's annoying. I can't bargain unless I want to not trade with their creature. I think it's fine. They're still going to kill this Enforcer, probably. Crypt Rats, sure. Alright, well, I don't want to waste my mana. And again, the life gain doesn't really matter, so let's just sack a land here. Oh, boy. Red source would be decent, because then I could kill this Crypt Rats before it kills our guy. That's not going to happen, though. Could just hold up Offering. I could map onto this, and if it hits a counter, they won't be able to kill it this turn. Sure. Refurb. Yeah, we'll keep that on top. Obviously, there's a million other ways they could kill it, but they haven't. So I figure maybe they don't have another way to kill it. Good Gardens player versus less experienced Grixis Affinity. Not a good matchup. Yeah, that's true. Well, if they have Toxin, what are you going to do about it? Hit for 2, and then they're going to sacrifice it. We do get to refurb into Monitor. And assuming they don't have another Crypt Rats, maybe this can be decent. Duress takes Offering. Of course, Witch's Cottage gets back Crypt Rats, but right away. Yeah, they could play it right away. Although that probably doesn't make sense while I have Galvanics if I do top deck a Great Furnace. They do it anyway. Spell Bomb just a turn too late. Spell Bomb. Might as well see if we get like a tapped red source to play. Swing for 1. Hit everything for 3. And they have the draw 2 again. Crack a clue, I get a vault. Patrol, map onto the troll, defile on top, bridge. I guess next turn I can double hit the troll. We don't die, but pretty close. Forcer, gonna kill it. We'll shoot troll twice. And now if they have nothing that scary, we just get Ichor Wellspring into Fanatical Offering into a bunch of creatures. Maybe we're okay. Fanatical is still fine. Mirrored Forcer's okay, I suppose. Just gonna cycle this Toxin since they're definitely gonna kill the Enforcer. Draw a card. Wellspring. Another Wellspring. Spell Bomb. Bridge. Pass. They have another Troll. Map onto it. And set on top. Refurb. I guess we're dead to Troll, so gotta draw for something, but I'm not sure we have anything like cut the Shamans, I'm pretty sure. Alright, I guess I can go again, but who knows what I'm even looking for. Utra Monitor. Perfect. And then I can map onto it, Galvanic Blast, and then we'll die to their 7/6 creature. Alright, well, it definitely seems like a bit of a tough matchup. Alright, this hand is decent. Hey, what's going on, Ben? Play a bridge and pass. Let's Wellspring. Alright, next turn we get to refurb into maybe double Thoughtcast if we want. Looks like, well, I was just about to say the Mirror. Tomb Raider makes me think it still looks like Affinity, but it could be a much more aggressive Affinity, maybe. Play a refurb, see if I can get any more info on what they're playing. Makeshift. I mean, part of me wants to just play Enforcer as a blocker, because they could be something more aggressive. Or they could just literally put Tomb Raiders in their Affinity deck. I think I'm just going to Thoughtcast twice here. Would rather play Enforcer for free, obviously. See what else we're working with. Not a bad idea. Yeah. I think just Tomb Raiders might be not quite good enough, but if you did like a 8 to 10 card more aggressive package, I could see it being decent. I mean, I did try for a while like a Rakdos Affinity list that was like Tomb Raiders, Clockwork Percussionists, and stuff like that, and that was decent, but the blue seems interesting. I'd rather go Clockworks. Exactly. If you're just going to do one, I feel like Clockwork makes more sense. But maybe they have those too. I don't know. 4. Let's do 5 artifacts. Star. Oh, they missed their land drop. Maybe I should have just munitions and killed this then. Oh well. We're here now. Star, Enforcer, and we'll pass. Monitor. Swing. Yeah. Just looks like Affinity to me. No big belly Enforcer art. That is the one that I usually use. Because Utron Monitor is so outrageously expensive, even just playing 2 of them, I'm using my creator account, and that meant it automatically chose the art, and I forgot to change it. So I'm sorry. I'm going to pick off this refurb right now to make their Affinity count worse. If I'd killed that before, then they wouldn't have even been able to play the Monitor, and we'll pass here. But you don't like little scorpion crab art? Yep, another Monitor. Just gonna fling a Wellspring at them. There's our own Monitor. Thoughtcast. Big Belly Enforcer is such a classic. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I'm a fan as well. We're going to attack. I think I'm just going to throw out the Toxin here to gain some life. We're in a very good spot, obviously. The main way we could lose here, though, is they get in for 6 and then double Galvanicus or something. So I think gaining some life is a good idea. Obviously, having this blocker helps. And also we have Reckoner's Bargain. So I think we're going to be just fine, but Toxin's not really going to do much else against them anyway here. Unless they had gone for like a double block on monitors on Enforcer, it would have been good there, but I think we're fine now. Thoughtcast finally get their 3rd land. Sorry, no one here is playing the correct art. It is a tragedy. I mean, we just have a makeshift munitions, so we'll just remind them that we can just kill them. All right. Well, Gorilla Shaman, probably Blue Blasts for their Shamans, their munitions and stuff. I don't think we need Krarks. This Krark really only hits Enforcer. Toxin's fine. We also know they're playing Tomb Raider, so Blue Blast is better there. It's the only odd card we saw. Yeah, I think I'm fine with this. Maybe if we see some more different cards, I'll make some more swaps. Shaman to go after their lands. Yes, exactly. It's fine. If we get Shamans, we're going to be in a tough spot. Although they're mulliganing to 5, so yeah, Shaman, great for their lands, obviously, but also just hits. You know, Blood Fountain, various tokens. Trying to decide what artifact hate I want for my Naya deck. Yeah, I mean, I will say Gorilla Shaman has been, I think, out of the meta as the choice sideboard card for about a year and a half or something. Mostly while Jund was on a bit of a downturn, while Jund was bigger. But now with Grixis coming back a little bit more because of Utrom and Surveillance Cam and general stuff like that, it seems like a decent choice again. But you also generally want Gorilla Shaman in decks that can get a good amount of mana. So either ones that ramp or just play like a long game with a ton of lands. Naya Gates sounds like the type that probably would be fine for that. So yeah, that could be a good choice. I also don't hate just like a one of Gorilla Shaman and then, still go with like 2 or 3 of your Cast in the Fire or whatever you want to do there. Although you're also green, depending on the deck list, you could do Oof, potentially. That's another one. All right. I only have 1 black, so I do want to play a refurb because I'd like to keep the pressure up. So we're probably just going to Wellspring too. We're just not going to have a bargain here. Dust. Oh yeah, of course you're white as well with Naya. So yeah, Dust definitely is your best bet. Plus Shaman maybe. Yeah, I mean, I will say if like your 3 colors, Dust can sometimes be hard to get, but with Gates, you're probably fine because you can just choose whatever colors. So just Dusts might be the best way to go, actually, if you're doing 3 or 4 of those. But substituting one of them for a Gorilla Shaman doesn't seem bad either. Loving 3-color Gates. Yeah, I definitely think it's a sweet spot to be in. Might as well play this for free before we lose any artifacts. Part of me wants to Galvanic this to keep our attackers alive, but I also think with their 2 mana, they're probably going to Reckoner's Bargain it, so I might as well just attack and offer the trade. If they want to chump and bargain, then I don't even have to waste a Galvanic Blast. Or they just take it. Go for a Thoughtcast, hit a bridge. Now we're going to hold up bargain. Okay. They didn't cast anything. It's also fine. Refurb. I think I'll go for the bargain in response. I don't really care that much about a Wellspring. Like, it's probably the lowest non-land card that I would discard here. But if I draw just too many lands, I think I'd rather just discard one of those. So, keeping the bridge in case they do get a Gorilla Shaman of their own. And they're going to swing with one card in hand. That's a great draw. We get to make them use the card if it is an instant, which it is. Reckoner's Bargain sacking a land. Should probably have taken that opportunity to kill the Enforcer here while they didn't have the cards in hand. They're going to Galvanic ours. Okay. They have another Galvanic. That would have been insane draws. No, they discard a Refurb. That's also pretty good. I could Galvanic their Enforcer, but do I even care about that when we're just going in the air? Let's do a Wellspring, but I kind of think I'm just going to shoot the Refurb here. We lose 2 damage by not just throwing it at them directly, but we're going to hopefully gain that next turn and then just have one more flyer to shorten the game. And if they're attacking us, then our clock is definitely faster, although a monitor helps that. But my Blood Fountain here is great because I get to attack. I don't even care that I lose a Refurb because I get to buy it back alongside my Enforcer and cast them both immediately. So bring these back. Enforcer, draw a card. And it's another Enforcer, which is obviously fantastic. The only thing we could have played there. Block. So they got a chump. They do get a Blood Fountain, but they don't even have the mana to use it yet. Plus we have a Spell Bomb. Thoughtcast. We'll see if we just get some Galvanics to finish this off, which we do. So I'll just shoot them. They know that I'll get some damage in, and this just shows that they can concede. Oh, and that was game 2. I totally forgot. So we win the mirror match. I was excited to see more other cards than just the Tomb Raider, but alas, nothing else was different that we saw. All right, 1 lander on the play. If it was an untapped Vault of Whispers, I might actually keep it for like Blood Fountain into refurb. Tap land, just way too slow. If we had Nick or Wellspring, this hand would be keepable. As is, I can't cast anything. I think there are just better 5-card hands, unfortunately. So we will be searching for one of those. And opponent has disconnect. We'll see how long it takes us to actually start this match. All right, they're back. Mulligan to 6. We're going to go down to 5. I'm not sure this is one of those better 5-card hands, but I think we'll keep it because we have decent mana. I'm getting rid of 1 Kark. The question is, do I get rid of another Kark or do I just get rid of a Galvanic Blast? Probably a Galvanic. Like, Galvanic Blasts get better in multiples because you can burn out your opponent from a higher life total. So I kind of want to keep those, but if we do go up against a Rally or even a Spy or anything like that where Kark is really good, it's pretty necessary, and we need to keep our highest upside cards in a situation where we just mulligan solo, and Kark is definitely one of those. Alright, so they didn't have a 1-drop. They can cycle an Ent here. No 2-drop either, unless they draw their Swamp for their Fiend, and then Axebane Guardian. So I think I'm just going to play the Kark. I could hold it a couple of turns, but I'm going to have to play it at some point, and might as well do it before I can attack for a turn or two, which is minorly relevant, unless they just draw an Overgrown Battlement. Okay, well, we're going to Galvanic Blast that, I believe. Refurb. I mean, Axebane is the one that makes black mana, but I can ideally just Kark that later, like we're trying to slow them down. Always, if you're about to play 2 cards and you're going to give them a choice with one of them, like discarding a card, always do that one first, because they might make a choice based on the fact they still have this battlement around. So I almost Galvanic Blasted the battlement, but realized I should give them the choice first and then do the thing where they don't have a choice. I mean, their hand is not amazing now. Like, Axebane Guardian's okay, but unless they top deck a Forest here or like a Land Grant, they can't cast it this turn. Cycle an Ent. Mutra Monitor. Okay. So I'm going to play Monitor, and I think I'm just going to sack the Familiar here, because the pressure is, like, decent, but we're still a couple turns away, and I really just need some removal and things, and we'll be in a good spot. Spellbomb's pretty good. They do have a Troll, okay. So that's all their lands, assuming they're only playing 4, which means they could Spy, but obviously they need 2 more creatures before they're able to Spy and win. There's an Axebane, Bargain. Well, we're going to swing. They're not going to block because I could have a Toxin here. Play a Spell Bomb, and I guess just pass? Or do I want to get down the Blood Fountain? Probably do the Blood Fountain. I don't really want to Reckoner's Bargain or Monitor, which is our only damage. The fact that we didn't draw any more creatures makes me regret sacrificing the familiar just a little bit. They're going to spy, I assume, hitting us, seeing as we have a spell bomb up and they don't have 3 creatures yet. We mill a couple cards. Seat. Swing with the monitor. We're going to bargain a blood token here. Okay. Only 1 black mana, making things a little awkward, but that's fine. Guardian taps for 1. They have a Sagu Wildling, maybe? Or just casting their Spy? Nyxborn Hydra. Interesting. Hydra is definitely an interesting one in their main deck. Blocks pretty well. Play Refurb, discard Dread Return, Mirror Enforcer, Furnace. I mean, we gotta pass. I could, like, Krark the Guardian for 3, but that doesn't feel very good. Or necessary, even. Wall of Roots. Another Spell Bomb. I mean, we're insulating ourselves from their combo pretty well. I think if we're just patient, we can probably get there. Oh, we can crack Blood Fountain this turn, which means I probably should just attack. They block, but I can Blood Fountain these both back. We hit for 2. Yeah, it's not exceptional, but if I'm going to Blood Fountain anyway, which I probably should. And obviously the Mirror Enforcer blocking the... Being blocked by the Wall of Roots, I could deal 3 damage to kill both of these right now, but I don't think that's worthwhile. I mean, it makes our attacks better, but I think we're fine. They're gonna swing. That tells me they probably have like a Quirion Ranger to untap it. Oh, they just have a Generous End. Sure. We'll get back our 2 creatures. Refurb. They discard a Spy. Monitor. Pass. They have 7 mana for just a Lawless Giant, or maybe another Nyxborn Hydra. I guess we could just lose to Nyxborns. Eventually we're going to need to find a Toxin Analysis or something. If they attack here, they only have 1 blocker. Oh yeah, if they attack here, they would die, because I could sacrifice 7 artifacts, wipe their blockers, and I could hit them for 7. Odd addition to Spy. Yeah, I'm sure it's just hedging against the artifact remove, or the graveyard hate, or something, but it is an interesting one. Okay. I'll just try to crack this for something right away. Fanatical. I probably should have made black, because I'm holding up black for these. Fanatical offering away the seat. Ton of lands. I guess we'll map onto something. Maybe the Krark as an attacker. No, I think it probably makes sense to go on a flyer. Ichor Wellspring. I mean, I have enough mana. It's more artifacts. I probably just leave that on top. Bridge and pass. I guess they could attack with this turn, because then they can crack a food and they wouldn't die right away. Even if I do wipe the board, I do crack food. And they are going to swing. I mean, we'll take it. I think I'm going to crack a Spell Bomb here. I don't love lifting the ability for them to, like, you know, making it so that they might be able to combo, but I also don't necessarily have lethal on them next turn and could legitimately die to this Spy with the Hydras. Perfect. They're making it so that the choice is easy for us. With a Vandal. Well, then again, maybe they're going for a creature here. Yeah, Monitor. The question is, do I want to Krark in response for anything and then Spy? Or then Spell Bomb. Because I could do it for 7. Wait, if I do it for 7, I guess they still have 3 mana potentially. But if I do it for 7, they have no blockers at all. Oh, but my Mirror Enforcer dies. So then I only have 8 damage on them. And I might not get there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd have 2 lands left. And I have a Wellspring on top, which is now really bad. Alright, I don't think I do that. I think I just crack a Spell Bomb to keep our Monitor around, since I kind of wanted to draw a card here anyway. Obviously, if they have a Cycler, they could still get rid of the Monitor. If you do it for 3, they have to trade Ent with Enforcer. If I do it on our turn for 3... Well, the Wall of Roots is still around. It's at 0-4. So that wouldn't work. Play a Wellspring, because they could just chump there. Yeah. We're drawing so many lands. I thought Wall was also on 3. Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, I could crack a Spell Bomb, but then... I mean, I guess I still have Krark, so I'm not fully dead to a Spy. Because I can still just wipe the board if I really need, if it's worth Spell Bombing here. I guess I could also swing with these. They block, and then I could sacrifice 4 artifacts to wipe the board. They go to 5. Oh, but then I just die to the Spy, for sure. That's not going to work. I think I'm going to crack this Spell Bomb, draw a card. If we can just get like a Galvanic Blast or something. Reckoner's Bargain does help, actually. That makes it so we don't die to their Spy, which means attack with everything. We hit for 5. Although if I just bargain the Mirror Enforcer now, if I get a Galvanic Blast, I can just win. I mean, this is a tough call. I think I'm going to just sack this to draw 2, gain 7. Toxin is also something that would be pretty good, because I can wipe the board, hit for 7. We're not dead. I guess if they can play for 4 mana, they would have to play a creature and a Spy. That seems unlikely. So let's Toxin this. Crack a Spell Bomb. Swing for 8. Alright. I mean, they literally need, like, another Spy and another creature that's free. I guess a Quirion Ranger would do it. Quirion Ranger is essentially free, and then Spy. Okay. Well, we got there. That was a lot harder than I think it should have been. But that's okay. Envelop is good, Negate is good, and Spellbomb is good. Don't think Munitions is necessary. Obviously, Krark Toxin is good. Blood Fountains are probably generally too late game. It was good there, I guess, but if we're trying to first prevent the combo from happening, I think this is probably fine. Alright. Yeah, I mean, we have Removal Spell, Spellbomb, seems fine. Land Grant. Forest, they have Quarian, Genersent. They don't currently have a, what's it called? Masked Vandal. Hopefully they don't just draw that. Battlement is great, because I can just kill that with Spellbomb and then Galvanic. They have Gatecreeper Vine, gets a Swamp. Alright. Wellspring. We should be able to tap out this turn because we have Spellbomb, plus they shouldn't be able to play Quarian plus a Spy. And that allows us to develop our board a little bit, our mana. It'll lead to Stampede, but they also get a Vandal and another Ranger. So play a Ranger. They can bounce Forest, play another Ranger if they want. Although that would make them more susceptible to Krark, so it looks like they don't want to do that. I think we just leave all our mana up because I have Galvanic, Fanatical Offering, Spellbomb activation, Masked Vandal. We currently have 2 creatures in the graveyard. Gonna Offering this Wellspring, just see what we draw. Land. Another Offering. Toxin's good. Trying to decide if I want to like Galvanic Blast something and then Spellbomb, or if Galvanic is better served killing something else here. Probably better to kill like a Spy, something that flies. Perfect. For that reason, exactly, because we can Krark Toxin everything else on the board. Swing for 1, tap for 2, and they have a Wall of Roots. So, probably want to just Krark Toxin this away before they make extra mana off of them. So we'll cast this. We have 7 artifacts. I'm going to cast Mere Enforcer, holding priority. Activate Krark, sacrificing a map, still holding priority. Because then I want to Fanatical Offering away the Krark. Boom. Rebuild our map. Wipe the board, left behind with this. Am I going to Galvanic Blast anything here? Probably not. Thought cast. Unless there's some way that I don't know about that they could like make so many guys here. With the Spy, I think it's probably fine to go Shields down now that we wipe their board. Another Toxin is great if we can find another Krark. I guess Blood Fountains for Krark is probably worthwhile, so maybe I should have kept those in for that alone. Quarian and a Battlement. Untap Forest. Swing for 4. Let's refurb. Gets rid of a Spy. I don't want them to have this much mana, so let's get rid of Battlement. And play a Wellspring. Another Galvanic. I would love to save these for just going to the face. We don't quite have lethal this next turn. 6 on board, 8 in hand. Winding Way. Hits a Guardian and a Battlement. They're going to play the Battlement. Crack a Clue. Envelop's a great draw. Makes it harder for us to die to their combo. Hit for 6. Gonna just cycle this for red. We've already used 2 Galvanics. Yeah, we've seen every single one. I'm just gonna kill off the Battlement, even if I want to use these to go at their face. It's not going to kill him this turn, and 1 is going to kill him next turn anyway, so I might as well cut off their mana and play a bridge and pass. So Galvanic plus Envelop, I think we should be fine here. Wall of Roots, untap, lead the Stampede. Obviously I could counter this. I kind of think the only way we lose is if they get off their combo, so I'm going to let it go, and we're going to save this for a Dread Return. They do get a bunch of guys, it is true, but they have to chump block here, or they die. They don't know that yet, and so if they just don't block, we will just win the game. Alright, take down Spy, and right back into it for round 5 here. Hand looks reasonable. Looks like we're against some more Jund, so let's just play a Wellspring and pass the turn. They have a Wellspring as well. No Wildfire is nice to see. Thoughtcast. Sure, let's Thoughtcast. Maybe we get a refurb we can play. Monitor. Well, we'll play Blood Fountain and pass. They continued to mimic us, playing a Blood Fountain of their own, and nothing else. Okay. We're up a draw 2 on them then. Play a Monitor, Spellbomb, and then we'll just pass with Offering up. They also don't have black mana, so I'm not expecting a draw 2 or a cast down. Probably just sack the landscape. So we're a little ahead of them now with the draw 2 and the Monitor. Oh, they are gonna crack their blood token too. If they try to kill this, I probably do just Offering it, because we could Offering the Wellspring, draw an extra card, but I can also just do that later. Might as well not waste material. That said, if they don't, I don't want to waste the mana, so I'm just going to do this now, and if they now cast on the Monitor, then so be it. But their Krarks are not doing too much for them. Let's Thoughtcast, create Great Furnace, more Thought Casts, pretty good. Swing for 3, play a Wellspring, refurb into Thought Cast, seems pretty good. Discard a Forest. No reason to hold up Toxin. Yeah, I think we'll just Thought Cast here, especially because if we get like a Mirror Enforcer, I might want to play it. They didn't have a draw 2 or cast on at the end step. I mean, this game so far, obviously we could definitely lose it, but this game so far is already a really good indication of just like little advantages that these decks gain slowly that amass to like enormous advantages. So like, because we're kind of mirroring each other, but then like our first thought cast pushed us a little bit ahead. Now we've done 3 thought casts, and they've obviously just had a much slower draw, which is pretty interesting. Hey man, first time catching you live. Paupergeddon got me pumped to play more Pauper, but my local scene is pretty dead. Never played MTGO. Any other suggestions on how to play more Pauper? Well, I'm glad you're able to catch me live. Thanks for hanging out. I can't say I've personally done much webcam Pauper, but I know there is a Discord dedicated to that for Pauper, where you play your, paper decks, but on webcam, so you can play with people online if you are not able to play with other people in person. So I think that's probably the best way to do that and what I would suggest. Like I said, I haven't given it a try, but I've heard about it in the Pauper subreddit, and then also just in general heard about it being around. So yeah, I would suggest that. Obviously, it's a lot of work and sometimes not possible, but like also just trying to put in the work to make your local scene not dead obviously could be good too. If you want to, if you are able to, if you have a local store where people play anything at all, you can build and bring your own decks, really try to force people to play with you and just be like, hey, like, let's play here. And once they hopefully see how good the format is, maybe they'll want to come out to like a more established event. But like, if you play Commander or something, go to your local Commander event, and then if, maybe before rounds, between rounds, or when there's not enough time, just be like, hey, you want to play some Pauper real quick, and try to drag people in that way. And we've got a pretty decent scene here, but it's been through a lot of hard work and dedication from the main guy who's been running the thing for the last 3 years. And we still, have events that are like 8 to 16 people, pretty good turnout, but nothing like outrageous all the time. But yeah, and also I think MTGO is it's very daunting to get into. I will admit it's not always the cheapest, but if you do it smart, you can definitely get into it and not spend too much money. Like I spent $100 to get into MTGO. I spent about $50 buying the deck that I wanted, which was at the time Golgari Gardens. Not a great one to start with, but the one that I chose, and then $50 to do play points and or tickets to actually be able to like enter events and things like that. And then that was pretty much all I had to spend to play enough to be able to go infinite, so to speak. But obviously that depends on skill level, it depends on how often you're playing and things like that. So yeah, but yeah, there's a few different suggestions. Hopefully you're able to make something work. Yeah, I wish the best for you. All right, we ended up getting there. Ben also said, for me, I have to drive a bit, looked up events on Companion Out, found a bunch within an hour of me. Yeah, obviously it's also best if you have a store that's 5 minutes from you, but if you have to drive a little bit further, you might find some things that are a little further out, but still good enough to drive to every, couple of weeks or something like that. Thanks for the advice. My local shop used to do it every second and fourth Saturday of the month, but the summer dwindled, then died. If they did it on a weekday, it would probably fire, but I don't know if the shop owner's interested. There's a shop about an hour away that does it, but I'm afraid to drive out and it not fire, and I wasted my time. Well, I mean, as far as if it's an hour away, like, I would just reach out to that store and be like, hey, do you usually fire? How many people do you usually get? It's quite a drive for me, so I don't want, and explain the situation. And they'll probably be able to answer that. Yeah, call up the shop and ask how many people. Yeah, exactly. As far as dwindling over the summer, we definitely had that a lot a couple years ago. I think that's just pretty natural to happen, of dwindling over the summer, as people have vacations and other things planned and stuff like that. I think the important thing is to have someone very much like pushing that, hey, we're back, in August or September, to be like, hey, you gotta, you should come back out and play more. Remember how much you enjoyed it 3 months ago. And whereas if it's just like, you're just assuming people are going to come back as they did before, then that's, people are going to forget about it. So yeah, it's definitely not easy, but definitely if you want to play Pauper, it's sometimes necessary. But yeah, it's definitely a format that's growing in general, pretty much everywhere. but is still, especially in the States, a lot smaller than it really should be. It can be hard to get things going. But yeah, like Ben said, also just look up other stores and things like that. We have a regional Discord for like the Midwest that I'm in, with people from 8 hours away in different directions and things like that. So also maybe you can find or even start some sort of Discord like that, to start getting people in a little bit more, because the reason we wanted to do that is so that obviously for FNM people are not usually driving 3 hours, but for a bigger 1K or win a duel or anything like that, people are willing to travel a little bit, and so they got to know about the events to be able to travel to them. So it's been really helpful for that, and all of our events have been pretty good so far. This hand is not very good. Like, we have some things we can play, but we also have 3 unplayables. I also just don't really want 2 blasts, especially if I can't cast them. So I think we're going to get rid of that. This hand is obviously bad too. This one's okay. Galvanic doesn't do a ton versus Jund all the time. So I think we'll get rid of that and a bridge. Yeah, maybe I'll take the initiative. I love playing Elves and Black Sack, but haven't played in a while. I'm in the Philly area, and we have a Pauper Discord, but it's gone a bit silent. There was a 1K in a big tournament 2 years ago, but nothing since. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, like, if you have the ability and time and interest and stuff, I would say definitely try to be that person. I would say Philly's probably a little beyond where our Discord reaches with, like, the Midwest, but you're not that far out. Like, you could definitely get, like, another smaller Discord going, and if there are larger events in that area, even people from our Discord could definitely, like, potentially travel there sometime. But yeah. I don't know. It's tough for sure. Okay. I think we have to discard this Enforcer, but I think I want to just blow up their 1 land here. I'm not going to, like, assuming they're running a standard Jund list, there's only going to be 2 artifact lands I can actually blow up with this, so being able to catch 1 is great. And if they immediately kill this, so be it, but maybe I stall them out if they don't have another land. If this survives, I can even start blowing up Blood Token and Blood Fountain. I don't have much else going on. My alternative is play a tap land, and the next turn I can, like, monitor, but I can still play a tap land and monitor next turn, so this is, I think, the way to go. Also, theoretically, if they're playing a Gorilla Shaman just like our other Jund opponent was, getting to it first is a nice way to not lose our lands as much. Is this the second place list? Yes, it is. This is Tartarini's list, who got second place. They cast down the Shaman. That's also just totally fine. We traded 2 for 1, and also we got a premium removal spell out of their hand for just that. Ooh, that's actually a really good draw. If I play that, I actually don't get to develop our bridge. Yeah, okay, we should do this. So I wanted to play the Seat, because then I could play Monitor and then Thoughtcast in the same turn, but then I'm not getting black mana available, so if I get a refurb, I can't play it. And there's no reason I need to Thoughtcast that turn, so we should just play it like this, but... They Red Blast the Monitor, swing for 2, and they might not have another land. Sack their landscape. Yeah, so we didn't cut them off 2 mana, but we cut them off 3, which is really nice. Part of me wants to play the bridge here, tap land, obviously. But then if I Thoughtcast into like another Monitor or something, I can't play anything. So I think we should just Seat into Thoughtcast. Now we don't have double black, but it's fine. We wouldn't have double black this turn anyway, but next turn we don't have it. They discard munitions. I mean, for being a Multa 5, we're not doing too poorly. Do I want to trade here, knowing I have a Reckoner's Bargain? We have 5 lands, so I might just want to use it on the lands. Obviously, they can get it back with the Blood Fountain. If they have a land drop, that could be as soon as next turn. But they don't have any other creatures in there. I think we will trade. I guess if now they play a Spell Bomb, it's a little awkward. Bridge. All right, we get a star, so might as well sacrifice that instead of a land drop. Although I don't have black mana now if I want to get anything. Okay, I do have mana there. Holding up Blue Blast is fine. Not the best thing ever, but if they go for a Wildfire or something. They clearly didn't have a Wildfire here, though, so... But they might draw into one. They do have a land, and a Spell Bomb, and another. Okay. Bridge and a Makeshift. I feel like they'll probably cycle a Spell Bomb here. No? That's interesting. They'd be catching 3 creatures plus drawing a card. They only have 1 black mana. I feel like there's a lot of reasons they might have wanted to, but maybe they want to hold it for like the Insight, but without 2 black mana and 6 mana, like it's not great. I don't know. We're definitely, I think, still a little behind, but yeah, they're cycling it now, but they could have had this black mana available. We're a little behind, but it's not so much that we can't come back from it, especially if we get some more draw twos. We've only seen 1 Thoughtcast, 1 Bargain. So we could definitely like Wellspring into an Offering, or maybe just chain a couple Thoughtcasts together. And with them not finding Chrysalis or anything, definitely not in a terrible spot. Galvanic is fine. Maybe I should have kept that land in hand in case they get a refurb, like the one from the graveyard, for example, but oh well. I also kind of want to have it on board for the munitions. Play a bridge. Pass. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll hold it for now. Definitely a little bit of just who's going to draw gas first. And both been failing at that miserably. They are going to go for the fountain. No, they have the insight now. Yeah, that makes sense. Use it on a bridge, though. Now they sack the fountain. I mean, that's pretty good for us. Seeing as we don't have a spell bomb, them losing the fountain for not really a great reason is pretty good. Okay, we're gonna let this resolve. Well, we're gonna let the spawn resolve. I'm gonna pick off one of the spawn here. This allows me to Galvanic Blast the Chrysalis. I guess I could just do this later, like if I do this proactively. But either way, let's just Galvanic Blast the Chrysalis so we don't have to deal with it. They do have a refurb. Well, we definitely need to draw something this turn because they're pulling ahead here. Galvanic this guy, another Galvanic. I guess maybe we actually didn't do that the right way, because if I had just Galvanic Blasted the Chrysalis, they would have had to sack both spawn to keep it alive, and then I sack the Great Furnace and I kill it off, and I've gotten rid of an extra spawn. I thought I was being really clever, like, oh, this is how we do this, but I actually think it was just worse. That's good to know for the future. I would love to stop drawing Great Furnaces and Galvanic Blasts, that's for sure. Yep, and now them having an extra spawn is honestly quite detrimental, because it means we're going to have to sacrifice an extra land or something here. If I had any artifacts that were not lands lying around to throw at this refurb, I might do that, but... And a Blood Fountain. Come on. Thoughtcast into Spell Bomb and something else. Okay, I guess we're going to sacrifice a land here into Thoughtcast. They have a Pyro. Alright, well, we will definitely counter back. Okay, refurb takes their last card. Thoughtcast for next turn. Definitely decent. Get rid of an infiltrator. Gonna play the bridge. If they do get another refurb, or like buy back a refurb with the Blood Fountain, it's kind of bad, but kind of need my lands here. Don't think I can afford to trade here, because then they can just get back double refurb. I guess they can't play them both this turn, but that's just too much value, I think. Sack all three of their spawn to crack the Blood Fountain, Chrysalis, and Infiltrator. Yeah. I mean, based on how we drew, I don't think that one spawn would have made a big difference, but you know, it's more damage now and it's harder to kill. Now that they cracked the Blood Fountain, I probably just... I took out the Krarks. Yeah, I think I didn't talk through my sideboard this time, and then I made some mistakes. But I'm going to throw this over here, because last time I took out a couple Galvanics for to keep Krarks in. Krarks and Toxins for the Chrysalis specifically, and now I don't have that, which means I have really no way to deal with them. Mirror Enforcer's good. Okay, let's Fanatical the map. I'd love, like, one more creature. Perfect. Finally drew some creatures. I will say, always my biggest problem with Affinity has been... and this is honestly why I don't play it a lot, or if I do play it, I usually play a slightly different list than this. The decks just don't run enough creatures almost ever. I feel like it feels like 90% removal and card draw, and 10% creatures. I definitely think I'd want 4 monitors at the very least, but it might just be my playstyle, though, that I want some more of these, some more creatures around. Sack a blood token, draw a card. I should have maybe Galvanic Blasted that in response to the counter, because then we knew on board they could only have 3 more ways to grow it, whereas now if they got like a Fanatical, they could have more. Alright, this could be a 4-5, this could be a 7-8, so probably just block like this. They trade for a Mirror Enforcer. If they have a Cast Down, I can Galvanic Blast to finish it off, which they do. Does mean I can't Galvanic this, but so be it. Galvanic Blast the Chrysalis. So I'm trading Galvanic, Enforcer, and Monitor for a Cast Down and a Chrysalis, so it's still not great. Could use a Blood Fountain of my own. That's not it. Enforcer. Well, we're gonna pass. Also, not every list is running Gixie and Infiltrator anymore, but if they are, that's definitely another reason to have Krarks in, so I think I'll probably bring a couple back in. Survivable by sacking some lands. Yeah, definitely gonna be doing that. Looks like they have a Troublemaker. Well, that makes things a lot worse. I could have like sacrificed 4 lands to kill the Infiltrator on the end, or like on my turn. I didn't feel like that was the best call. That is really unfortunate, though. Can't beat the classic Gen top decks. Yeah, it is tough. Well, I'm gonna throw this at the Gixian. It's fewer lands to destroy, to kill it. So that's what I think I'd like to do. I could block with a refurb, then we go to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have to sacrifice a few lands for it, though, whereas otherwise I have to sacrifice 4 and the map token, and I chump here. I guess I sacrifice the refurb. Yeah, I guess that's probably fine. Block here, throw a whole bunch of stuff at the Infiltrator. They can crack the Spell Bomb to give it another counter, so I will have to throw one more, which we should definitely do in response to their draw, because if they draw like a Fanatical, they could make us sacrifice another one. With the right sequence of draws, we could still maybe get out of this with like Thoughtcast into refurbs and monitors. I'm not sure how many refurbs we have left. 1. And also they draw a refurb, which is exactly what they wanted, or the type of card they wanted. Alright, that doesn't do it. We had some really bad draws. I do think we sideboarded a little poorly. Clearly, like, having some of these in is good. I mean, Galvanic Blast is... I guess it also gets rid of Gixie, and it's fine. Maybe we'll do, like, 2 and 1. I don't really know the best way to sideboard here, but I think having some Krarks would have been nice for that. Okay. Surprisingly, this hand's not terrible. Usually, when I have a swamp in the opener, I am not a fan, but I'm all going to 5. But here we get Blood Fountain immediately into Spellbomb Refurb. Yeah, it has targets, but no lands targets. You talking about this guy or something else? Refurb them, play a Spellbomb. They have a Duress. A little annoying. Did want that bargain, but obviously they're a little behind. Thoughtseize, Bug, strikes again. Sack a blood token. Play a Mistfall Bridge. They have a Wildfire, gets a Forest. Wellspring, Spellbomb. Swing for 2. They did miss their land drop even with a Wildfire, which is good for us. Blood Fountain into Refurb. Krark doesn't look very good right now, but it could be good later. Gorilla Shaman, if we get red, actually is fine, because I can start picking off some of these. Wellspring's the only thing I can cast. I think I'm getting rid of the Krark. Wellspring, again. Star. We'll swing. They're going to take it. I guess I play Star. That lets me Gorilla Shaman next turn if I want. They have a Wildfire. Have you seen the leaked Boros Spirit? I don't think so. I will say, just on official stuff like this, I don't really love talking about leaked spoilers, so, yeah. I'd rather keep it to official ones. I'm sure we'll see the official spoilers for some of these cards in just a couple days or weeks, so. Let's bargain away a Wellspring here. No lands still. We do get Mirror Enforcer, which we can cast. Obviously I could have like Gorilla Shaman. I can draw a card by cracking the Star. Having Blue Blast up could be relevant, because if they get like a Gorilla Shaman or something, they could try to take a land. If I crack Star for red, I could try to find a land, and then at worst I can hit the Familiar. Although I might want to save this for a Chrysalis. I think we'll just pass. Well, it could potentially be exciting for new Spirit stacks when you see it. I am looking forward to it. That sounds sweet. What do you think about some lists that run no draw on Mono Black Sack and just more copies of Glee, Unearthed Stamina, Right of Consumption? Yeah, so in the Black Sack Discord, Entropete, a very prolific Black Sack player, is pretty much the main person who plays that kind of a deck, that kind of a list, with no card draw at all. I have tried it out on the channel once. I can't say it's my preferred style. I mean, he is a very good player and is probably in the top 5 players putting up results for the deck. So I think it's just like a preference. Like, does it fit your play style? And he's like, Black Sack's already a very class cannon-y, all or nothing win by turn 4 deck. He takes that to the extreme and wants to do that even more and gets good results with it. But I like having just a little bit of card draw so that I can recover from some board wipes and removal and things like that. Whereas he doesn't care about that as much. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of a preference. If you like the idea of that, I say go for it. Personally, I like the 4 card draw spells, but some people like 8 card draw spells too. So that's another preference thing. All right, with 2 Galvanics in hand, I feel like I want to save those for attacking them directly, so I don't really want to attack here. Then again, I could swing with Refurb and Enforcer. They probably block Chrysalis on Refurb. Well, if they do, I get to kill the Chrysalis. That's not amazing. Because we missed so many land drops, I can't really Gorilla Shaman and like hit anything relevant. I could get a blood token, but that's not great. Certainly I have a land drop here, which is something. I think we're in a fine spot to, like, if we drag this out a little bit with Galvanics and stuff, so we'll just play it slow, not try to rush into things and get punished for it. So depending on what I draw here, I'll probably just leave a Blast. And I do have Galvanics as well from the Star if I really wanted. Although Refurb is really tempting. If they have like a Gorilla Shaman, they can eat one land and like a Spell Bomb. It's not the worst thing ever. I don't think I need to Refurb. Let's play it a little safe, like I said. So yeah, not necessarily my favorite style, but also I will say I think Glee is fantastic and underrepresented in the decks as a whole. I think it's like card that should see a lot more play than it does. Unearth is a crazy good card. Stamina is obviously insane in the deck. I only run 3 copies just because every so often I do get it, and I don't love having like 3 copies of it in my deck at the same time. And Rite of Consumption, I think 2 copies is kind of the perfect number of Rite of Consumption copies, but again, preference. If you want to see it more often, that's totally all right. Might have called their bluff. Yep, they're just gonna sack the Refurb, gaining 4 life here. 1, 2, 3. I could try to Galvanic Blast the Gixian Infiltrator right now. They are only showing 3 ways to grow it. No, actually they have Blood Fountain, so they literally could grow it if they really wanted to. But also if they have another draw 2, it's bad. I mean, we'll just let it go. But obviously the bargain makes it so that the burn them out plan is a little worse. Sack some spawn. Yeah, I mean, we gotta let it go now. Wellspring. They're gonna pass. There's nothing to Galvanic Blast. I probably should have just blasted the Chrysalis when they were sacking the spawn. I blanked on that because I was focusing on the Infiltrator. That was definitely a mistake. Because if I had cleared that and then could fly over at least, would have been better. Well, let's Refurb and attack. With the Refurb, they block a Galvanic Blast. You can do the same thing with the Enforcer, but if they have any interaction, then I'm gonna throw one of these away and not be able to kill both. Block here, they take 2. I wanted to be patient before, and now it doesn't feel like that's the right way to go about it. I'm gonna swing with one of these. They're just gonna take it. That's fine, I suppose. I guess I could have played Gorilla Shaman, try to blow up the blood token. They activate, and then they only have 1 card left, or the 1 mana left. I could probably take care of the Gixian Infiltrator because they'd need a 1 mana way to sacrifice something, which seems unlikely. So actually we should do that. Should have thought about that earlier, I think. Gorilla Shaman. It's not a red source, not a blue source, so it doesn't really matter. I think I just play this. Blow up the blood token. Although then I'm tapping out a blue Elemental Blast. Oh yeah, that's why I should have played a Vault so that I could have activated that. Whatever. They're going to activate, and I'm going to Galvanic Blast this in response. Alright, that's very good, because that was my concern, was that this guy was getting 2 out of hand. I did not play that turn exceptionally, because I could have left up... Yeah, I should have played the Vault of Whispers to activate the Gorilla Shaman. I forgot that I wanted to leave up a mana, because I could have Blue Blast up, plus I could have black from the Spell Bomb in case they crack the Fountain. Just have a number of things up. I guess it doesn't really matter now if they take the Blue Blast, but they'll probably take Galvanic, since the blast has not been super helpful. The blue one, that is. And they can just play around it now. Troublemaker, oof. The Wellspring gets rid of Forcer, probably. Maybe Blood Fountain. Yeah, okay. They have a Landscape. Swing for 4. Okay. Going on the aggressive. We have just a Krark in our graveyard. An Enforcer. Swing for 4. And pretty sure we pass. And then I blow up their Blood Fountain in their upkeep. Unless they do this here. And I just blow it up now. And if they pass with the 4 mana, I do in their upkeep, so they have to tap the 4 mana. So if they could force me to crack my Spell Bomb is the thing, which I don't really want to right now, because they could have another Blood Fountain, they could have a number of things. Sorry for the background noise. There is... feels like always someone revving their engine around here. Gixian. Okay, that's really not too scary right now. I say before they... Okay, another oof is fine. I mean, a little annoying. Hits the other Enforcer. They're out of cards. Okay, now maybe I do want to crack the Spell Bomb. Because if I get like a way to sacrifice the Enforcer, then I can bring it back. No, Toxin's actually really good though. Because this Gorilla Shaman, which is currently not useful anymore, can just kill the Chrysalis. That's a pretty good draw. Trade there. And I can also wipe their board now with the Krark. I don't need to tap like this. I get to play Krark, sacrifice 2 Wellsprings, draw 2, wipe their board, swing for 4. And I was going to leave up Blue Blast. It's a little safer, but I have them dead next turn. if they get like a red blast, it can pick this off or something, so be it. Lembas actually makes it so they don't die next turn. Scry to the top. Cast down. Alright. I get a Spell Bomb, Crack a Clue, all of this. We have a Krark, swing for 4, and if they get like a Chrysalis, they can ride it out longer, but it's a bridge. We're going to be able to get there with our board. 4-1 with the deck, losing to Golgari Gardens. Probably just with more experience, I think I could have had a better shot against the Gardens player. They did have some good luck and seemed to know what they were doing quite a bit, so maybe that's just a bit of a tough matchup. But overall, deck felt pretty solid. Like I was saying earlier, I probably just prefer a deck with a few more threats, a few more creatures. So like I would probably try to going up to 4 monitors, which is obviously an outrageous amount of cash or ticks to be able to make happen. But that would be one of my changes. Probably the star was not bad, and actually the color changing was pretty relevant a few times, because there were some times we didn't have blue, we didn't have red, etc. Even with so much card draw and a bunch of tap lands, it was sometimes hard to have all the right colors of mana. But yeah, the sideboard seemed fine. Obviously, we could probably make some changes to it, but I overall didn't have a problem with it. 120 ticks for 4 monitors. Grixis Affinity is deck for the rich. Yeah, I definitely agree that it's probably not something that it's not great for the format, and I wish that it was not that way. Ideally, it'll come down to price a little bit. They said that the drop rate is going up for it in chests, but for now, I would suggest playing something else until Monitor's a little bit more reasonable. We are going to play at least a couple matches of another deck, but let me close out this video. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.